Dick forever.
Yeah.
I was a big Law and Order person.
Yes.
I ran that show for years. And I got a call one day. I said, Dick. Dick said, you want to do this? I said, sure. He said, don't fuck it up.
that was the only instruction.
Don't. That was his instructions. Please don't write that.
Tell us about your working relationship with Dick Wolf. You started out as a writer for him?
As a writer in back 1990,
Yeah.
when Law and Order was just beginning. I wrote a freelance for him, and I got a call. I was ready to go back to New York because I had no other work.
Right.
And I got a call from them saying, we want you on staff, and we're turning your episode into a two-parter. And a couple years later, I was running the show. So, worked out well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, that one phone call that changes your life. Like, had I not been there when he called.
Leave a voicemail.
What is it about Dick Wolf and Dick and the show what is it about him that he does that no one else does, or what sets him apart from you, do you think?
Well, Dick is one of the smartest men I've ever met. And I'm not just saying it.
Right.
Dick and I can sit and have a drink and talk about everything from, baseball to Tolstoy, and everything in between. I mean, very well educated. He knows what sells. He knows what people want to see. So when he tells me that he wants this show to be more in the vein of a Law and Order than the others, I know exactly what he means. He thinks it's maybe I shouldn't say that. It's Law and Order with a twist. It's like Law and Order 2.0. It's a closed-ended show. So at the end of every episode, we're going to slay the bull.
Right.
It's not going to be carried over to the next episode in a serialized case, anything like that. Bad guy's going to go to jail, or to get off.
But I mean, your characters will have stuff that carries over too, right?
Yes.
I mean, I feel, and I'm sure you can tell us this, but I feel with John going over to your show that maybe we're going to see a lot of looking back at Boyd.
Yes.
Possibly with Philip's character, who was the first one to put him in jail, right?
Yes. And we're working on one now. I don't know if it's going to become a show, but where he's trying to put Boyd in jail again. Or not Boyd, Elias. I can't, for something. And I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know if we're doing it yet, but
right.
we're playing with it just to get Nada in the middle of it.
Right. So will that be an interesting dynamic for your show, in that all the three other shows work together? I mean, the characters work together, it seems like, on a united front, and your show might be a little more antagonistic, at least.
Sometimes. I mean, or we help PD, because they catch the bad guys, we cook them. We've used Oliver Platt twice. When we have an insanity defense, he comes over and testifies for us. We've used Herman from the fire department. I didn't know how I was going to get the fire department in, but I did.
Where are you now in terms of shooting? How many episodes?
We are shooting, prepping 6 right now.
Wow, okay, so you're up and running now.
Yeah. Oh, we're moving. Doesn't stop.
We haven't seen an episode yet, so what's the basic? In a nutshell, what are we getting from Chicago Justice?
You're getting a crime. You're getting state's attorneys, investigators investing that crime, and you're getting the state's attorneys prosecuting that crime. So it kind of reflects Law and Order. It's part of the lineage of Law and Order, but it's not Law and Order. It's Law and Order with a twist, because there's not a strict paradigm that you have to follow, where it's cops, lawyers. This, I kind of took the deck and shuffled it. So you see lawyers at the beginning, you see it's all mixed up. Because what people don't realize is, people know cop work from watching cop shows, and they think the cop arrests the guy and he sticks with the case. No, cop arrests the guy, turns it over to the state's attorney. Now they have to make a case.
And that's where they're
That's where we are now. That's what the case is. Or what's also interesting is the Carl Weathers character, the state's attorney here in Chicago, who happens to be the second most powerful person in Chicago after the mayor. It's an elected position. Right. He's a politician. He has the power to tell his investigators to do anything. They can go outside of, because it's Cook County, they can go outside of Chicago. So we, for example, have a show out in the sticks about pig farmers. You know, I mean, we're going to try to open it up a little more and do all kinds of cases.
And the rest of your cast, you mentioned Carl. He's
Carl.
fantastic.
Fantastic. And when Apollo Creed, what can you do?
Yeah.
Will you have politics coming into because of his position?
Absolutely. I love doing politics, political stuff. And I can write 100 episodes of Law and Order, and you don't know what my politics are, because I want to get both sides of every issue. Perfect show is you have 5 major characters, they all have different opinions, and they're all right, and that's a perfect show, and that's what I'm shooting for. And not forcing it. It's the different opinions come out of their different backgrounds and their different experiences. Like Carl is going to have a different experience than Philip Winchester. You know, completely different kind of person.
Tell us a little about Philip's character.
Philip, this is interesting. Were you guys Law and Order fans by any chance?
I've watched tons of Law and Order.
Do you remember
yeah.
Michael Moriarty in the first couple of years?
Oh, yeah.
Well, his name was Ben Stone. Philip's name is Philip Stone. It's his son.
That's very
That's
exciting
a scoop.
to me.
That's a scoop. And the reason it is, Philip, growing up in New York, had a famous father. I mean, this guy was the best prosecutor in New York. And he didn't like living in the shadow of famous fathers. He rejected everything about his dad. And he went off to college, and he played Major League Baseball. He played for the Cubs.
For the Cubs, of course.
Too bad it wasn't this year. We could have gotten tickets. And he hurt his arm and ended up doing the same thing his dad did, but in Chicago. And I wrote a line where Philip is shooting at a target that nobody else can see. He is so motivated to win and to get ahead and to put the bad guys in jail. And it's all to prove something to his father. And, you know,
Will we see his father?
I don't know what shape Michael's in now. You know, he got ill, and I don't know. If he's ready to work, I would love it. I would love it. We are bringing back Robinette. I don't know if you know. Remember the first 2 years of Law and Order, there was his sidekick, a black guy, Richard Green.
I can't think of his last name.
Yeah, Paul Robinette. So he'll be back. Shambhala Green was in the spin-off, and we will bring her back. We want to show that connection without hitting it too hard.
Right.
And we will use people from the other fire shows, of course. We already have already, so it's been good.
What's been the biggest challenge for you on this one?
That's an interesting question. We were going to do a 4-part crossover, and the scheduling of it couldn't be done because we don't have our premiere date yet. So we couldn't figure out when, because we'd all have to air the same week, and we didn't know. You know, we just don't know. Yeah. And that's going to be a headache. So I was kind of actually, I mean, maybe for us it's the easiest part because all they have to do is get us to the point of going to court.
Right.
You know, a fire, the doctors, we just have to get to court. But they got to give us evidence that we can use. That's in going to court. And the real centerpiece of this show is Philip slaying the bull in the courtroom. There's a lot of courtroom. And this is an interesting story. I was sitting at home one night and I turned on my Netflix and I'm watching King Lear, an old British BBC, and I'm looking at Edmund, the guy playing Edmund, and it was Philip. I said, holy shit, this guy's a real actor. I could give him, excuse my shit, I could give him a huge monologue. Opening episode, he's got a monologue this big, and he kills it. People, the crew stood up and clapped. And the crew, you don't impress crews a lot, right?
Everybody used to think he was British because
His mom was.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And he lived there. I think he went to school there.
I mean, but he was an American in the Royal Shakespeare Company.
So how was that sort of your "this is my guy" moment?
He is, yeah. I said, we are onto something here. When he pulled off that, Dick said, was sitting there when he shot it. He said, "We do this every week. We're 20 years. We're on 20 years." And we're doing it. We're pushing him, and it's pushing him hard, probably too hard. So I gave him a lighter episode in one.
So I've seen some car chase scenes being shot around town for Justice.
Yes, we did
So are
not a
those-
car chase, but a car shooting.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
is that the investigators getting
yes.
involved and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, they get involved in
Because I know
interesting
Philip,
things.
he's on Strike Back. He's doing a lot of action stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, are you going to get to do any action?
We told him, Philip, you're not going to punch anybody, but you're going to punch him with your eyes.
He'll punch the desk.
Yeah. Although the teaser of the first or second episode, we don't know when we're airing it, he gets into a fight in the courtroom.
Like a physical fight?
I figured, I wanted to say this isn't Law and Order. That's why we started it that way. There's kind of a riot in the courtroom, and he takes somebody and tosses him. And let me tell you, you don't want to get tossed by Philip. This guy is cut.